Okay, we're back, everybody. I need to remember that the mouse does not control the camera. I was playing some 14 earlier. In particular, I was working on unlocking things for Blue Mage. Like a very, very silly person, because Blue Mage is, well, there's only so much you can do with it. Let's move on to our story mission here. And we got our full party ready to go. Our first time going as a group of 4. Well, okay, that's not technically true, but it's our first time where I think we'll properly be operating with all 4 characters. And, like, actually getting to fight things. This is a gang of 4. And nobody has anything a little bit more heavily armored for us to work with here. Oh, there definitely appears to be some things going on, that's for sure. I'm sure that he's the guy to ask, the responsible member of the party. Looks at this wonderful gang that we have. I don't think there's a single responsible person in here, basically. Except for Karen. That's a bit of an issue, to say the least. Nothing here? Nope. And back we go, then. Save point right here. I think I should actually use that just that way I don't have to, you know, if things go completely horribly, I don't have to keep rewatching the cutscene. Otherwise, well, I'm gonna feel like an idiot. Well, targeting the crates wants to be a pain in the butt. We'll just do it that way. No targeting necessary. Just waste some power points. We'll be fine. Alright, now this would be a place where it would be good to have some fire damage sources, but I don't think we have any. Except for Maya's crossbow, but that doesn't really count. Oh, don't forget the money. I'd rather play the game, you do. Oh, hey, look, it's the same type of enemies we've seen. Well, I mean, technically they're a different model, but it's basically the same basic principle as what we had seen elsewhere in, on Parum, pardon me. If I could just get my words together. In fact, there's a lot of enemies that are just very similar to each other now, if I'm remembering correctly. And again, that thing dropped a whole weapon for us. That is our first one-hand dagger. I guess we could try that out if we wanted to at some point. Again, we would probably want to have a skill disc for it, but Maya, can you stop being trapped on the scenery? Hello? There we go. Not frustrating or anything. Let me... And this real quick. And back up we go. I'll gladly take an extra level. As usual, we're the first to gain another level in one of these missions, but that's probably more because we're the one who's getting the most of... Well... Of a sort, anyway. I don't know that we're killing the most things specifically, but... Well... Words, please. We're not getting more than half, at least. And these other folks are doing a little better than us, I believe. Second here. And again, 1 second. Chair is kind of a pain sometimes. Oh well. It's true for a lot of us. Unfortunately, we have that attack down debuff, and we don't have a way of removing it right now. That's okay. We can probably do some stuff to kill some time before it. And then let it, well, time out. We're doing fine. We've only lost a little bit of health. Did you get stuck on something again? Probably. That's becoming a recurring issue. Thanks, game. I'm so glad. sorry. I'm gonna encounter anything that's really weak to that, but if we do, I suppose. Yeah. No branching paths here, just keep going. I was about to say no prizes from the crates, but no, there was something at least, so got that going for us. Very loud key sound I'm really noticing here. I don't know if that's just because it dropped like right on top of us or what, but it's certainly noticeable. I guess at least then you won't mistake that the thing hasn't dropped yet. Oh, hit the wrong button. We're out of energy for that. Let's... Yeah, see, we should be able to deal with at least one of these with our spear. Let's leave that out so that way we can recharge some energy. And let's keep going. Keep going. I didn't see what we just got, but I think I saw a lot of star markers on it, so it might be something pretty good. Or it might just be a star atomizer, which, admittedly, that's probably fine, too. Oh, wow, that was a horrible miss. Also, God, that sound effect sounds so bad. Like, just the quality on it is absolutely terrible. for some reason. I know that video games in this era in general were not very good at sound in a lot of ways, but yeesh. Like, especially Sega stuff. I mean, I recently rewatched somebody playing Sonic Adventure 2, and of course I played it a couple of months ago. But it really did remind me so much that while the game's soundtrack is alright and everything, the sound mixing is atrocious. I don't think they hired anybody at Sega to do that, actually. Like, they were just, who cares about the sound? It's Sonic. It'll sell. It'll sell money. And I mean, yeah, people really like those games. So it kind of did, but you could at least pretend to care about every part of the process, I guess. Or maybe not. I'm not in that field. I just talk about video games, basically. I play them and I talk over them, and theoretically I'm saying things that are about video games. But in a lot of senses that will probably just remain a theory to a lot of people. Because I'm not exactly an accomplished public speaker. I very nearly just said I'm not exactly a public speaker, which, I mean, granted, that's effectively true because even the very worst have at least a little bit of talent in that field, but that's not quite what I want to say. Ooh. Full on those. So, I guess let's use a couple, because we're probably not going to be back this way. I don't know about the rest of you, but I don't think we're going to come back here. I think once we get through this door, we're going to be thrown into the first trial of the chapter. And of course it went back into the dirt in the middle of my... Stop fucking around, please. There we go. And again, that incredibly loud sound effect, but it's not like it was on top of us, it was all the way over here. So it just doesn't care about range, it's just always ear-shatteringly loud. Sure, okay. Great frickin' work, Sega. I'm so glad. Yep, here's the cutscene block. I mean, that was not exactly an ordinary cast. That was a much more... I hesitate to say much more robotic because, of course, we've seen Magashi, and he's literally just some sort of gunpla. So, saying that is a little bit incorrect, and yet... Oh, she's having a panic attack, I believe. That is the intent, at least. Probably reliving childhood trauma. You say, is that all? It's very nearly so, anyway. Ooh. I don't know. I think she's just... Somebody misspelled woozy in the subtitles. I kind of want to get out my PS2 version and play through the game again and be like, did they fuck up this badly with a lot of these things in that? Or is this just because this is the patched version? Yeah, again, something with this dialogue just absolutely seems really fucky. And yeah, we get it. There's a relationship thing going on in theory because, you know, male and female main characters. The simplest way to write it. Or she's just screwing with us because that's... Well, let's keep going. Wait, we came... 'Cause now I don't know. I think it is. But the map might have been refreshed from our entering and leaving due to the cutscene thing. So we may be going back if we go this way. In fact, we probably are. Yeah. So, thanks a lot, by the way, Sega, for that one. Real nice of you. Imagine going, oh hey, we should design this properly. And then they don't. Oh, it's this fucker again. Yeah, that's what I'm thinking about you again, buddy. As far as we know, anyway.
何を言うんですか。大変な時期だからこそミコ様の慰めが必要なんです。
ミコがいなければ生きていけないのか。だからヒューマンってやつは愚かで弱いんだ。
お前らだって誰かの命令で動いてるだけだろ。自分の意思もないくせに。
なんだと？
いいさ、やめろ。失礼した。ここを通らせてもらえないだろうか。
Again, I feel like we can take him at this point.
もうすぐここは爆撃によって浄化する。
そこをなんとか。
ダメだ。
あら、同盟軍の方？初めて間近で見ましたわ。あ、かっこいい。この装甲って特殊合金製なんですの？
まあな。
まあ
Oh, I'm
なん
sure
て
this
セクシーな
guy
声
is the one that this will work
仕
on,
事の
right?
邪魔をしないでほしいんだが。
このまま原始の巫女を焼き殺してしまったらあなたの経歴にも傷がつくんじゃなくて協力してくださいますよね
An actually good point being raised during this. Well,
少しだけ待ってやる。もたもたしてたら焼き殺すからな。
ありがとうございますさあ早く行きましょ
I think she was just annoying him.
うありがとうカーツさんじゃあね
じゃあ。
Oh, he's having a bit of a problem. He's not as much of a cool guy as he thinks he is. Well, that's... Well... Again, I need to point out that it's really only funny because he seems so annoyed about it. Alright, our health is refilled. Those healing spots really need to move faster. I despise how slowly they go. Alright. Go through the door. At least this time it doesn't seem like our map has been reset. Ooh, this is looking pretty gross. Because we got ice here instead of fire. But more importantly, it's because since the trees are all covered with, well, ice basically, they kind of look like they've been sneezed on really bad. Oh, I think we're gonna need like a hammer and chisel here at least. Need a photon reflector. As I need to increase the size of our inventory even more. It's the same basic concept, I'm sure. Okay. I dislike this. I mean, I also don't like that I have to go into my inventory and add this to my thing. Because, hey, everybody wants more middle-of-the-thing inventory management, right? Alright, so we found a target we can stand in. Karen, can you move your head? Oh no, that's the actual seed, isn't it? Well, in that case, don't bother moving your head, because that will help us not at all. Alright. If it's gonna mostly be stand in this one spot, rotate camera, and target them, and if it's gonna be fairly easy, that'd be great. However, I have a feeling that we're not gonna like how this is gonna go. area. There is nothing there, but the door is still closed. Do I have to go in a different direction from the one that we were directly being led on? That would be really stupid. Alright, that's just going to be the way out. We're going to try popping all the blisters real quick and see if one of them, like, emits a key or something. Because otherwise, either I didn't read the description properly, which would be a pretty big unforced error on my part, or there's just not a good explanation for how to get through here. Or I just have to walk up to it and somebody... No, this isn't PSO. Nobody has the knack and can open the doors that are just blocked for no good non-plot reason. There is no door here. Can I, like, door? There's no panel there. Trying to see if I can just break it open or something. Actually, what if I tried scanning the door? Because again, there's no targets here. Nothing to shoot. This is seriously an issue. Stand in puddle. Search. Appear to be anything. What am I doing wrong? I tried restarting or something? Oh, yeah, okay. So that was just the way we... That didn't look like... Sega! God damn it. Maybe it did, and I've forgotten already because... You know, this whole thing is really confusing and very irritating. I am 100% not going to take the blame for it, though. I'm a streamer. I'm not supposed to take the blame for video game design, even when it's not a problem. It's always the developer's fault. What are you doing? Get off of that. Start telling me, where'd you go? I didn't go anywhere. It's you. Oh, we got frozen. Great. Actually, no, I want the spear out so I can have it cover points. Now, however, is a good time to do this. Neat. Level 13 on our skill. I'm like, I'm not gonna approach this fast. Just switch to the rifle and shoot. It seems to have good stun locking abilities when we do that, so that's probably going to continue to be our strategy for a moment.
また強くなったのね。
そうそう、
Nice.
その調子です。
Nice. I'm not looking at the map. It's not going to be marked on there. Yeah. Alright, so we have to go back to the teleporter, it looks like. God, that noise is... some really awful noise in the background of part of this. Like, it sounds like a whistling tea kettle, and it's just... it doesn't feel good. Alright. Now we have to see how many enemies to clear out. A decent amount. Well, I like how they're giving us the key for this area, even though it's not time yet. Pick it up, though. And we see that, yeah, it's the only one. That's just not close enough. Alright. Switch on the photon reflector. Alright, does this thing have any semblance of range whatsoever? Oh, it might do if we actually manage to target the thing properly, and it does not appear to. Yeah, so here's where they start really padding this, I guess. They're like, you've done the training mode version of this. Let's just make this irritating. Yeah, see, there's that noise again. And it's not some sort of thing from one of the objects or anything. It's just part of the music. And I don't like it. Break these for whatever items they have. There it was. Let's get that real quick. And pick up these rock clusters. And go open the door. We are in this for the long haul, it seems. Judging by the fact that we've only hit the first actual seed cluster of the mission just now. Thing is really inundating itself into the wall there. Things are probably going to be a little too durable for me to be seriously doing that as a strategy, so we're going to switch... Oh no, the blaster doesn't have any energy left, really. And we're going to miss a shot entirely, because why not? Heal. And we've got another one of these. Turn. Can't fire that well first person, because why not? Why the hell not, indeed. And oh yeah, of course, the last one is way far away. I should probably know that that's how they do by now. How are you doing, by the way, this almost 1:30 in the morning over here? Oh. Those puddles can freeze people. I should have known, but also I just didn't... I'm okay. I'm doing alright. Started a little late today because I just couldn't get started at the usual time. And I was very tired on Wednesday, so that's why no stream happened then. Today, however, being a little quieter than usual, I guess, but that's about it. Otherwise, it's not like there's a problem, it's just how it goes sometimes. I admit that I'm not a huge fan of this particular quest that we're on, just because the amount of gimmickry is a little bit more heavily stacked compared to the previous purification quest. At the very least, we have a party of 4 characters, which I mentioned earlier. That is a first for this game. Ish. First time we're doing actual stuff with 4 characters. We had the situation last time a little bit, but we didn't do anything with everybody together. Oh, neat. Maya's gonna start trying to do a little bit of cleanup work here. Unfortunately, she only did the one. The AI in this game, as you can tell, is not exactly top-notch in a lot of respects. Boy, howdy, are we getting a lot of goofy shit like that. And there's my whole party getting frozen. Whoops. Yeah, I mean, to be fair... Oh, ye goodness, we are almost dead. That was pretty close. There's absolutely... That's definitely a case where... Especially because it is just very hard to code AI that can account for every single inevitability in certain ways, but there's just certain things that it's like, well, you could definitely try to do this a little better. At the very least, I strongly appreciate the fact that Maya, who is basically our support caster for the moment, is actually using her healing spells a lot. And of course, Hyuga is getting dogpiled on, which is always hilarious, because, honestly... Fuck. Oh, that's something at least. That was pretty close. You can see in an area like this, it is super easy to just get dogpiled on pretty badly. I mean, that's true of any sort of ice area in a video game. It's just like, oh, well, here comes the opportunity for you to get absolutely dogged on horribly. Which is part of why, in Pokemon games, even though Ice-type tends to be garbage defensively, it's always like the 7th gym or so. Sometimes later, XY, it was the 8th gym, I believe. And then, of course, there's some where you don't see it until the Elite Four. Because it will cause you quite a few problems if things don't go so well. Despite the fact that it has absolutely no defensive capabilities whatsoever to speak of. Also, it appears that, unlike Phantasy Star Online, wow, when will I ever stop comparing this game to its predecessor? I know, right? It appears that you cannot mash directional buttons to snap out of freeze faster. Which is unfortunate, but also, saying that, I've seen people in PSO original flavor just pull off some absolutely bizarre amounts of input spamming in a short period of time and basically be almost immune to freeze. I don't know if that's still a thing or if it was like an exploit that people were doing for a while, but I've definitely seen it, and it's pretty ridiculous. Yeah, you told me about the tracker. I saw that in my whispers today. I have not been on Twitch since I streamed on Monday. Just by virtue of having missed basically every stream that, you know, was grabbing my attention. Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's probably the norm to be like, oh, hey, this game in a series did X thing better / worse than its predecessors. But I feel really bad when I do it all the time, because I feel that it sets this idea that I'm expecting it to always be the same. Which would be silly, even if absolutely there are some things that probably shouldn't change mechanically because they were done so well the first time around, but that is another story. Like, there are some things that in certain games, if they ever do, for example, if they ever have a Blue Mage as a mainline game thing again in a Final Fantasy game, they absolutely should keep the mechanics of Lancet from FF10. Well, yeah, Sonic Adventure 2, oh, the Emerald Radar, oh, the Knuckles stages in general, Sonic Adventure 2 actually had this other weird thing going on where I think because people were like, oh, it's a Sonic game, you gotta go fast, you also had characters, like, everybody could reach ridiculous top speeds that were utterly uncontrollable. So, like, if you're zipping around a stage as Knuckles or Rouge or Eggman or Tails, and it becomes super dangerous, super fast, because the stages are not built around that. But that kind of requires you to do that on purpose. Yeah, Sonic Unleashed, well... Sonic Unleashed sits in a very weird place for a couple of reasons. And the first of these is that in Sonic Unleashed, the speed stages are very fast-moving, and they aren't necessarily hyper-intensive in terms of the platforming or anything. But they're basically... the design basically descended into a very large QTE, and if that's what you've got to do to get fast Sonic, I feel that that's a mistake. Meanwhile, the Werehog levels are just generally very unfortunate in how they work. However, I don't seem to remember that it's anywhere near as easy to suddenly hit, you know, supersonic speeds the way Knuckles and Tails can in Sonic Adventure 2. So at the very least, someone was like, hey, let's not fuck that up. Which, points there, I guess. You know, you didn't do as badly as you possibly could. Also, wow, we went super slow there. I'm surprised we didn't break 30 minutes, honestly. But hooray, our class gained a level and we gained 3 attack power. Nothing to write home about, but they get better eventually. And, you know, I'll take any bonuses we can get. Oh, and I literally just used a photon point recovery. Yeah, the game ends up very middle of the road overall because of problems like that, where the design works, but the rest... Oh god, I actually forgot... I forgot there were Tails stages in Sonic Unleashed, so ew. Oh hey, is that Lukem again? No, it's just some dude wearing a very similar shirt. And a fox mask that made him look a lot more metallic. And gray hair. Oh boy, the things that freaked Karen out earlier have kidnapped low-budget Raiden Shogun. Actually, because of timeline reasons, Raiden Shogun is more like high-budget Divine Maiden, I guess. Oh boy, those tail stages in Unleashed sound like a fucking mistake. Then again, Sega has just been fucking up random parts of every Sonic game. Like, they just cannot keep it together. They needed, and honestly, if they're... Well, there's that open world Sonic game that's coming out, so I can't say, well, if they're gonna do Sonic games ever again. No, there's one that's gonna happen. It's just been a while since Sonic Forces. But they absolutely need someone around who can look at the Sonic game and look at what the creators are doing and go, hey, enough is enough already, motherfucker! Stop adding in new things and make what you have that much better. And work with it for now. Because otherwise, you end up with a game that's like only 1/3 good, basically. I don't really remember a whole lot of anything about that upcoming open world Sonic, by the way, except that it's going to happen, apparently. So I don't really have much of an opinion on it other than, well, this is just reminding me of the greater problems with 3D platformers, and I am not a huge fan of open world stuff in general. Like, I make an exception basically for Nier Automata, because Nier Automata is a very good game. Yeah, exactly. That's pretty much my overall feelings about how Sonic works, is just do what you're already good at and keep making it better. It is always the better choice to refine one point of your game to a razor sharp, you know, to a razor's edge, than it is to start in on something new. By the way, I released a video almost 2 weeks ago now on a game that is basically the exact opposite of that design philosophy, Omicron the Nomad Soul. For anybody in here who is not aware of that already. If you are, well, then this conversation has done nothing for you. Glad we could have it. Actually, that also kind of applies to the games that I'm talking about in the video that's coming out on Monday as well. If anyone's looking forward to that, I hope that at least somebody is interested in like 50 minutes of a video about Bubsy, because I put frankly an unnecessary amount of work into that. But yeah, Sonic has that constant problem of they try to do too many things with it. Like, that literally has been an issue with all of the Sega-developed Sonic games pretty much since the Genesis, as far as I can think. Actually, I guess Sonic R was all one thing, but Sonic R, I feel like most people don't like to talk about Sonic R because Sonic R is... Well, Sonic R certainly is. And yeah, Sonic R was the one game that was on the Sega Saturn. It, of course, was not like a regular Sonic game, but it was fairly focused in terms of what it was doing. And then, I believe from that point, it goes straight to Sonic Adventure, Sad Venture 2, Sonic Heroes, Shadow, and then into Sonic 06, basically like right afterwards, if I recall correctly. Sonic the Fighters. Oh yeah, was Sonic the Fighters an arcade game? Or was that a console game? Because honestly, if Sonic the Fighters is not a console game, that'd be a good reason for me to not remember it, because I do not really always do very good at remembering stuff that's on arcade machines. Arcade only outside of GameCube port. Gotcha. Gotcha. Yeah, honestly, there's quite a lot of interesting stuff on a variety of arcade machines, which means that I probably should pay a little more attention to it, but I'm not always very good at that. Interestingly, there was very nearly, and it was never completed to my knowledge, but it was certainly never released. There was a Lemmings arcade machine that was being worked on in the early 90s, which, you know, that right there, proof positive that that game, they would port that thing to literally anything with a screen. And if they ran out of stuff with screens to port it to, they would just make something else with a screen to port it to. Which is absolutely hilarious. Neat, we found a... I believe that fan is a saber-type weapon. We'll can show that off if nothing else, and be like, hey, check out the paper fan that we can use to hurt people with. I don't know if that's any better or worse than our current saber, though. So, yes. Gee, where was I? Yeah. So, stats-wise, this thing hits a little harder and has better accuracy than our current saber, but it doesn't have as many photon points. But, on the other hand, why not try it out? And if only I could remember to use backspace instead of... closing the menu every time. Is there anything else to see over... Yes, okay, this area has a lot going on. That's back in the direction of the gates. I feel like the other side is going to be shorter. I'm going to be stuck here in terms of being like, hey, what should I do? Oh my god, this thing looks silly with the glowing edge. So, Sonic the Fighters was not on Gems Collection, is what you're saying. Interesting. I do have a copy of Gems Collection for the GameCube. I have never done anything with it. I believe Gems Collection is the one I have. Gems Collection had Sonic CD on it, I believe, so... Oh, it is. Okay. I have one of the Sonic collections for the GameCube. I believe that has some unlockable Master System games, too. And by that, I don't mean unlockable Sonic Master System games, although there may be some of those. I mean, I'm pretty sure that the original Phantasy Star is an unlockable game for one of those. Gotcha. A port with more characters released for the PS3 and Xbox One, which means that that is probably no longer obtainable. Do a quick heal. Okay, no, this is definitely the way to... Oh, so there's just a bunch of shit that we can go do in the other area. Okay. Why not? Let's go find out what's going on here. Wait, am I crazy? At least in that way. Okay, so there is actually nothing here. This is just a dead end. I've been bamboozled. Oh well. Yeah, just go this way. I haven't had a good look yet at the current TCG ban list, so I don't know what that's like. Oh, it's long this time. Oh. Sounds fun. I wonder if they ran into an issue where Konami's like, shit, what do we do in order to stop this deck that is completely out of control? We actually don't know right now. Because it's also not exactly like they would... Like, words. Just changes playstyle at best. Well, that's... great, I guess. Should be entertaining to watch. I'm still over here in 3 Max C land, so... maybe one day when I feel like it's actually safe to go to events again. Because, you know, pandemic, not for other reasons. Although, to be fair, if I was a little more open about certain things in the world of meat, I would probably not necessarily be super comfortable at an event for other reasons, but for now I'm just talking about the pandemic. I would certainly give some consideration to playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Using actual cards in, you know, the TCG format and everything. Could potentially be fun, or it could just be an entire wasteland of just seeing turn 1 decks, which is always a possibility. Or it could potentially be literally the same as Master Duel, and it's just 50% Eldritch. I really don't know. I'm literally right here. Where's everybody else is the real question. Oh, they're both stuck on the scenery. Good job. Oh, boy. This is what we're working with, people. Turns out this is actually the Zelatoth run. My group was stuck, and by, well, half of them anyway. The one competent member of our team seems to be okay, but she was still unsure as to where I was when I was literally right there. Right next to her. This AI was worked on for at least 10 minutes, I think. Then again, I'm not 100% sure of that, so I shouldn't necessarily say anything. Artificial idiocy, yeah, basically. You ain't kidding. Oh, if I could aim better, that would be nice. At the very least, you can sort of soft lock enemies from the right distance with your guns, so... That makes dealing with singular groups like this... singular enemies a lot easier. Heal. Again, these enemies are absolutely whooping our butts. I probably should be a much higher level at this point in the game, but I'm not very good about, like, doing things offline anytime it would ever be prudent, and I don't know that I want to bore you folks with too much of me just level grinding. Save point. Man. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I really like the fact that it has like the glowing laser edge to it. Just like all the other melee weapons. It looks delightfully silly. Best weapon in Smash 64. One of the better items in a lot of them, honestly. She's about to have another breakdown, but there was some graphical glitching there. That looked like something else was going on. Yeah, oh, she's having the attendant freak out from the match. What happened earlier. Alright. Come on, this nerd. Alright. The blaster is doing pretty good damage here. This is going to basically be our main weapon for this fight. Well, I mean, also with the fan, you get ridiculously huge knockback on a good throw, so you chip someone's HP down and you huck it at them and they go all the way across the arena. I think we just got another weapon, but it's one that we can't use in this class. Oh, look at this freaky fucker. Alright. Can you land, Buster? I would appreciate it if you could just land. Oh, it's come back with some rocks to chuck at us. Ow. Can you help us ground this thing? Yeah, exactly. I mean, who's this MFer think it is, right? I go first person. This would be much better to do if I had a stick or if I could use mouse control or anything for the first person stuff. Unfortunately, without a controller hooked up, this is literally all keyboard. The range of the pistol is simply not that good. In fact, I don't even think it's that strong on the rifle, so, like... It's just an annoying fight so far. And this thing is doing a bunch of status effects, which makes things even worse. Shoot in the feet. And with this delightful camera angle, making us unable to see the electric spikes very well. I'll take a level up for a plasma hit. I keep pressing... I'm stunned, aren't I? Yeah, that doesn't show up on the HUD. Alright, can you, like, run out of moves, please? And yeah, you will also notice the problem that the aim is not vertically inverted with the shooting, with the first-person view. So I keep trying to press down to go up, which is what it is in most video games, for better or for worse. And so, meanwhile, this game is like, hey, you know muscle memory? How about fuck you? Thanks, Sega! Aren't we all so glad that they decided to stop making consoles for this? You know? Say what you will about the Dreamcast, and I think that the Dreamcast is a little bit overrated. You know, don't kill me for that one, folks, but I think that a lot of people sort of overstate just how great and ahead of its time it was. I don't know about that. You know, and certainly not by enough to, like, be as world-changing as a lot of people think it is. Get this out. This is not going to do the trick. Rifle. Photon charge. Alright, where to go? Finally! Fuck! That was annoying. And really, it's more that it was annoying than being actually hard. How do we do? Yeah, 10 points. We barely got any points. Yeah, that's the thing that a lot of people really don't mention about the Dreamcast controller is that, or well, the Dreamcast in general rather, is that its controller is not that good.
Miko-sama!
The Dreamcast is pretty rough just in general. Why does this guy look like almost exactly like one of the thugs from earlier in the game? Like, this is seriously one of the dudes, but with slightly less mustache. And different clothes, obviously, but...
私はミコの父親で祭司精霊種の道義ミクナと申します。ミコを救出してくれてありがとう。
ミコ様がご無事で何よりです。
町まで送りましょう。お乗りください。
ありがとうございます。しかし、まだ仲間が。
ん
Oh, so they just didn't move her and...
傷を負われたのですか。
いえ、急に倒れてしまって。
私が見てみましょう。
あ、気がついた。私、気絶してたのか。精霊種様が直してくださったのよ。ありがとうございます。
何、礼には及びません。
Or the wild Zelda with glasses.
これは
子供の頃からついていたもので。
これは精霊門といって教団の行為のものにしかない印。
そうなんですか。この子は幼い頃に母親が森で行方不明になってしまって、生まれがどこだったかも覚えていないんです。
そうですか。もしよければ私にそのことを調べさせていただけませんか。
よかったわね。もしかしたら本当の両親がわかるかもしれないわ。
カレンさんが教団の子供だったなんて。
Again, they're really
では
pushing
我々の施
something
設へ参
that
りましょう。
is gonna have a very obvious quote-unquote twist when it comes out. And for that matter, how does nobody not know that?
助けてくださって
It's literally a mark on her hand.
皆さんの勇気に感謝します。
And I would think that that would be something that would be, like,
ありがとうございました。
findable. But
あ
again,
なたにはまた助けられ
we've sort of been over the
呼んでくれ
point
ればいつでも助けてくれるよ。
before
心強いお言葉
that
感謝します。
I don't think there's Google in
ありがとうございます。
in this universe
いえ、
or
私は何も
any sort of real online
そんなことはありません。
information
あな
storage.
たは私の
ミコ様。
Oh, that's not so good.
ミレ、
ミコ様。
You should probably have taken that prank buzzer off beforehand.
ミコ様、どうしたんでしょう。
さあ、疲れが出たんじゃないか。
じゃあカレンさんはどうして残ったんです？
カレンの精霊門を精霊主様が調べたいっておっしゃったのよ。
カレンさんは本当に教団の高官の娘なんでしょうか？
I have a feeling this is
ま
not
だ
going to
わから
end
ない
well.
けど、おとぎ話にあるじゃない。森で見つけた子供が実はお姫様だったって。
こんな話ありましたっけ？
あるの。あの子には幸せになってほしいのよ。亡くなったお母さんの分もね。
やっぱり心配なんですね。
血は繋がってなくても妹だからな。
ちょっと締めっぽくなっちゃったわね。ねえ君たち、今夜は一緒に食事しない？
え？試食だけは勘弁してください。
Alright, let's see what we're going to be dealing with soon.
ともに最後の研修地
Oh, hey, Leo,
元
we
に
haven't
向
seen
かう
him in a
イーサン
bit.
たち。新たな依頼はローグスの海賊たちによるエーフォトン科学者の誘拐事件の調査だった。アジトに
Oh, we're
潜
going
入
back
す
to
る
the
イーサンたちを
A-Photon
待ち受けるのは一体
Metal
何
Gear
か。
Solid.
次回ファンタシースターユニバースモトブの補修。君の守るべきものは
A, we're going back. A, we're going to the last planet that we haven't unlocked yet. And B, it looks like the rogues are getting entangled with Gundam Epyon over there.
それは遥か遠い。
Yeah, skip to the actual cutscenes from the beginning of the chapter and not just the anime opening.
今回が最後の研修になる。お前たちもだいぶ仕事に慣れてきたじゃろ
はい。
う。次の研修地はモトブじゃ。出発までにリサーチしておくように。
でも先生、まだカレンさんが戻っていませんが。
まだグラム教団の施設に残っておるそうじゃ。
え？そうなんですか？ずいぶん時間がかかってるな。
じゃあ教官は誰が？
How long has it
今
been,
は
I
代
guess
わ
is the
りの教
question.
官を探しとる。人手不足でなかなか見つからんのじゃ。しばらく待機していてくれ。
Yeah, that few people,
後
huh?
日連絡する。
はい。
もう カレンさんには会えないかもしれないですね。
And another 3 days, with probably no news back from the Church of Yevon. We're gonna get her back, and it's gonna be like a robot of some sort that malfunctions explosively. I don't know. Are we just having this conversation now 3 days later? For the first time? Gee, I hope not. 2 weeks. I mean, again, this is a universe where the closest thing to any sort of information storage are those encyclopedia sets that they used to sell door to door. So maybe 2 weeks is actually fine in this world, if they're delving into some really deep shit. Maybe someone should have, I don't know, invented a search engine at all. It doesn't even have to be Google. I'll take Lycos or Ask Jeeves at this point. Change clothing. Neat, we get some cosmetic abilities. Oh, that's some static. Hyuga, you didn't drop your phone in anything, did you? Wait in front of the fountain at the central table. And no information on who it is yet. I don't know how I feel about this. Oh, by the way, let's take a quick look. We got a bow. We can't use this because we, excuse me, are simply not allowed with our current class. If I recall correctly, and I don't think I do, bows in Phantasy Star Universe are basically just rifles, but with a tiny little blast radius to their shots. Again, don't take my word as betraying any sort of knowledge whatsoever, because I haven't played this in a very long time, but still. Plus, it appears to be basically a rare item, so we're gonna shove that into there. Okay, yeah, that's the gun that we already have. We want to go store our materials. So, rocket launchers. Rocket launchers, but with the smallest amount of blast radius whatsoever to them. Basically. But I think that's probably the closest that you get to a weapon with a real blast radius on it anyway. So, let me go check my... Let me take a look here. Can I view my weapon types that I'm allowed here? Types list. There we go. Alright, so... Yeah, I guess that would probably be the closest you'd get, even though, again, that blast radius is fuck nothing. Because over here in our types of guns, we've got a rifle, which is just a straight shot. It's a glorified pistol. We've got the shotgun, which shoots out in a spread, basically a triangular pattern. I almost said a cone pattern. That's not really true. Basically how any video game shotgun works, that every type of ammunition works like buckshot with it. And bows we've already described. The double pistols are literally double pistols. The crossbow is a smaller version of the shotgun. The machine gun is a machine gun, and the pistol is a pistol. This laser cannon, which is a weapon type we have not seen at all yet, fires a piercing shot. So it's not going to be anything with a circular radius other than, oh, I guess this cylinder goes through things, basically. So I suppose it probably would be the closest that you'd have to rockets. Just not as disgustingly hard-hitting as you would expect from being told, oh hey, they're rockets. Nothing really of note to pick up here. Yeah, we'd have to actually go planet side for any of the new gear to unlock, wouldn't we? We should probably dump off the equipment. We'll do that the next time we're at an actual shop. Sorry about that loud clang if you heard that, by the way. That was my big glass hitting the pop filter on my microphone, which I swear is there. It's just not very good. Alright, so let's see. The guy who was spoiled in the... Oh, some dude stole our entire clothes right off our back. Oh, that's right, because he stole our inventory thing. Because that's a thing that we should be allowed to have happen in this sort of futuristic world.
盗んだものを返せ。てめえ離せよ。
スリを捕まえたんですか？
あ
あ、もういいだろ。早く話せこのバカ。
そういうわけにはいかない。警察に連れて行ってやる。来い。ちょっと待った。
Honestly, I think just torment him for a little bit mentally.
おっさん。
Hey, it's Leo. We saw him in the cutscene.
話が違うじゃねえか。もっと早く止めてくれよ。
すまんすまん。いいさ。そいつも俺たちと同じガーディアンズなんだ。
No?
このチビが
Dude, that's not okay.
気をつけろ。俺はお前らの教官だぞ。
なんだと？
教官ですって？
I mean, I think the real problem is the fact that he fucking robbed us.
お前が研修生だと知って教官を引き受けたんだ。
そうだったのか。
モテ部は危険なところが多いからな。予行演習してやったんだ。ありがたく思え。
何も街中で下着姿にさせることはないだろう。
いい眺めだったぜ。
この野郎。
He really does remind me of someone from JoJo Part 4. I just can't pin who. Maybe it's a combination of people.
はーい。
Tonyo Rima, this is our new instructor. Going just before us, huh? Gotcha. So basically, he's the TA for the week. And we're gonna explain it in a moment. That the Beastmen are they've got a variety because, well, animal people could be all kind of sizes. In theory, I suppose you could have a child Beastman who's like 12 times the height of Leo over there. Well, we roughly know where it is. Dunmortube. Our third planet, and we're finally going to the one that has that shares part of a name with Motavia. The second planet from the original Phantasy Star games. Now, we were busy chasing around our buddy here. Gotcha, so we go to the new branch and all of that. I was about to say, we didn't go to the one in New Daz, did we? But that's because it was mostly cutscene, unlike what happened on Parum. Also, Ethan will say smartass, but they won't say anything. Wasn't I just saying something last episode about, like, oh, they won't say ass, but they'll say smartass? That's okay. Sure, alright. Makes total sense to me. Oh, wait. let's wait to pay money to the Rubik's Cube until we get our gear checked out, because we're probably going to want some new equipment. Oh, okay. That's phrased in a normal person way. And before we head to our new planet, we're going to do like we did last time with Nudez, and we're going to go check the other 2 planets before, and we're going to see if there's any new gear, or if they'll actually let us go there. If we won't just be stopped and be like, hey, yeah, go to the place where you're supposed to go first, which, I mean, fair enough, but also, I have a feeling that we will be stuck there. Alright, so... Twin Buster, was that available before? There may not have been an update to the shop yet. Compare this to our current thing. Yeah, so it's got slightly more damage, but less PP. I like what we have already. Yeah, I don't think... I suppose maybe there hasn't been an update until we go to the next location. It was Red Tier. Yeah, Red Tier was in there before, so... we're gonna hang on to that dagger for the moment, in case we decide we want to use that. So I guess for now we're just going straight to Moatube, and we're gonna see what is going on there. Probably get our mission, be allowed to set up our equipment. Again, just hope we don't get swept into shit immediately. Yeah, we were pretty much in a bit of a deserty looking location. With big freaking torches, huh? Who's this dude in the mask? Just giving us the once over. Making sure we don't say nothing to his face, I suppose. Alright, so Guardian's Branch is over this way, I believe. That'll be our... That's the flyer station. Alright, yeah, because the whole shopping sector is over that way. Or is that the Guardian's Branch over there? I believe it actually is, but... Oh, hey, here's a whole other location. I think that's just for you know... Not going to be super important, basically. Oh no, okay, I missed out on the entrance here. Blends in pretty well, actually, despite the big hologram thingies. Can't tell from the uniform? And all the beastmen talking like punks, basically. I've seen you before. Wow. Kidnappings, huh? Are we here to investigate a pattern of who is
これは
being targeted?
ここ1ヶ月の間に100人以上の科学者が行方不明になってい
Oh
ます。
shit, we're about to get into some deep,
博士
deep shit.
誘拐事件は警察に任せりゃいいじゃないか。
そうもいかなくなったのです。
どういうことだ
Because Dr. Darren pointedly was not kidnapped.
世間に知られたくない秘密が彼らにはあるんです。
あんたは
申し遅れた。私は A フォトンの研究をしているトム・レインと言います。
A フォトンの研究者が
Oh, sir, you are gonna die at the end of this chapter, I'm pretty
誘拐
sure.
された科学者はいずれも A フォトンの研究者なんだよ。
トム・レイン博士は現在ガーディアンズに保護されています。犯人がなぜ A フォトンの研究者だけを誘拐しているのかは分かりません。
それで俺たちにどうしろっての？
ある筋から情報提供があって誘拐犯の隠れている場所が分かったのです。この写真は廃校になった鉱山です。20年前から立ち入り禁止区域になっていました。
ここに誘拐犯が潜伏していると
そうです。それを調査してほしいのです。
私の友人も誘拐されたんだ。よろしく頼む。
博士、ダレン博士をご存知ですか？
ああ、ダレンは私の教え子だ。知っているのか？
はい、一緒にパルムのレリクスへ調査に行ったのですが、ダレン博士は亡くなりました。
なんだって？なぜ？
エンドラム機関のマガシに殺されたんです。
マガシ。マガシが。
大丈夫で
That's...
すか、博士？
博士、
すまん。気分が悪くなった。失礼する。
Oh, did we just say his trigger phrase and we may have accidentally killed him? Uh-oh. Big ruh-roh. There is some serious shit going on here. Maybe they've been hired on to do work with Magashi, I'm guessing is what's going on here. Alright. Well, we are again going to be a party of 4. I like the sound of that. Get Hyuga. We can't get Karen. May not be around much, seriously. Alright, Leo. Leo, I think, is another melee type, and Tonyo is a crossbow user, possibly, so sort of mid-rangey. I think. We're gonna see how that shakes out in a bit, after we go and start checking out some new gear for ourselves. One thing that I really dig, by the way, is the amount of characters who just have, like, parts of their outfit that glow. It's really cool. I feel like once we start really getting into the space future and everything, I want to see more of that. Of, like, just outfits that have, like, a subtle glow effect to them. We got a new company here. So, stats for items are going to be a little different here on MoaTube compared to their equivalent, and their names are going to be a little different too. Alright, so instead of the breaker, we got the soda breca, for example. And how's this compare to our lance? Hits harder, a little less PP, a little less accuracy. I don't want to do that. Because, okay, sure, a little extra attack, and in fact, 47 points, that's pretty D's. But with the amount that we just spammed Dust Dagus in order to do anything, our PP stat is pretty much our top priority. Ooh, we've got electric element daggers here. We're going to grab those, because ours are a little outdated. How do these compare to our current twin brand? Oh, those are so much better. That said, we could probably get Twin Buster, but I don't... That's fine. Alright, well here, we can pick up a shotgun and we can try that out. How do you compare to this? They're the same weapon, basically. Alright, sure. Let's grab the shotgun and we'll have that for a little bit of experimentation. And with our movement to lightning on... Well, actually, let me set up our weapon grid here. Override that. Right there. Yeah, so our pistol, we're going to want a different element for that. I think we have ice, and we have no ice weapons on our grid anymore. So, yeah, so we can switch to Frozen Hit there. How's our weapon palette looking? We may want the fire element shot for this, because that's what we're going to have access to, yeah. And nothing else too big. I think we're getting some new of these techniques. Down before, did we have that before? Down Barda. Not Sunday. Yeah, we have to have, because yeah, otherwise this shit wouldn't all be here. I'm saying shit and I'm swearing a lot. I'm sorry. It happens. So let's learn that, and there we go. This has a body slot. This has 10% dark defense. That's interesting. What do our units look like? Guard and legs. I'm gonna just buy the guard right now. Yeah, I can't equip it, I know. Buy that. Whip. Alright, we definitely do not need the twin brand anymore, nor the twin knife. So yeah, this inventory is getting slightly more crowded, but meh, whatever. Incidentally, I can probably get a better single dagger than I have right now if I want to, and I probably should. But first and foremost, we're gonna go. Actually, we're gonna take a look at the clothes shop and see if we can find anything that is within our price range. Yeah, this is a game from the 2000s. Gendered clothing, etc. Let's see if we can't find ourselves something a little bit, yeah, let's see how this looks. Well, I mean, aside from the fact that, again, we're in shorts and everything, those boots are absolutely gigantic, and I find that kind of hilarious. But yeah, not so much what I think looks pretty good. But we're gonna go and we're gonna check the other cities real quick before we start our mission. And see if we can't find ourselves, possibly some new clothes that look a little bit more like what I'd be interested in. And B, if we can upgrade any of the rest of our gear before we go. Alright, what have you got? Yeah, it's fine. Yeah, it's sort of like more military-esque, I guess, for lack of a better term. Not really, but yeah, I don't actually know how I want to describe it, I guess. Yeah, not really impressed with this too much either. I mean, I guess it's okay, but meh. I assume that a lot of the clothes are going to be, that I would probably want something a little more specialty for any of what I'd be looking for. If I'm going to go into full fashion mode for this, but what do you got? Breaker. There's an Earth Element sword if we wanted that for some reason. Yeah, no better single sword yet. That's weird. Okay, yeah, that's for weapon modification. Something I haven't really looked into yet. Okay, yeah, so there's an armor upgrade available right now, compared to what we had before. So, what we have should be basically on par with that. Alright, and New Des is our last target. And I don't think we're gonna find too much of what we're looking for here, but it's not like it's not worth a shot. You know? Why not look if you get a chance? Here's what we're looking for. If we want to find the cosmetic stuff, that's across the other bridge, I believe. Alright.
Oh,
One last check here. Yeah. You got the best sword and spear right now, so. Dang. I don't even know if we could, like, craft anything that's better, but I'd have to go all the way back to the ship and just go through a bunch of shit in order to figure that out, so, that seems like a lot of effort and also confusion. Also, I just noticed a weird texture error that is traveling as I go. Maybe it's just like because it doesn't want to draw full details on something because of how far away it is, but it definitely looks really messed up. second here. All right. Let's go into our mission and see what we can figure out here. Ooh, boy. I forgot to recover the energy on my things. Oh no, our gun just looks a little bit orange. I was like, wait a sec, did I switch to fire bullets for the rifle? I don't have the fire ability for it, so that would be really weird. Alright, we've got fire element, yeah, they're fire element here, so let's get a little bit of that action going. And they've got a fire breath attack too, that's pretty nasty. I was gonna say, this may not be such a good place to demonstrate our shotgun, but we got some ice elements here. And you can see that our total damage output per shot with the shotgun is pretty great, but it has a nice long reload sequence in order to make up for it because of its AoE properties. Yeah, exactly. It operates the way you would expect a video game shotgun to operate, I suppose. No multiple barrels to be found here. Completely pump action, even in the future. So yeah. It does basically what you'd want it to, I suppose. It's a good way to do crowd control. Again, reminding me once more of Phantasy Star Online, the original, and how fucking slow shotguns could be without any sort of attack speed buff. Because without that, they just take like a billion years to even fire. Although again, decent damage over a wide area, so once you can fix that issue, it's hard to argue with that as a weapon type. Yikes. Let's see, what the hell is that cube? That probably just a weird graphical issue there. Can I aim this properly? That'd be nice. There we go. that up properly. Remember that you can't use the attack button to do that. That is not how the video game works. Oh, they're hucking rocks at us. In addition to their Fire Breath attack, which I guess is probably a spell too, the other thing that the Vandas are using here is the spell Diga, which is the ground element spell that, well, the basic one anyway. One important thing to note is that techniques in these games are not just like, oh, strict progression of upgrades. If we went in there, you know, if we went to the shop and we picked up a staff and we grabbed a few of the abilities, like, it would still be worth it to use the level 1 stuff compared to the other things if all we needed to do was DPS. The others are more for special effects and their ability to deal with groups and things of that nature. As you probably have guessed, that Diga spell is not exactly good for dealing with anything more than a single target. It doesn't really have what you would call a blast radius. I mean, I think it's got a little bit of an AoE, but not a ton. Before we go into the mine, which I'm pretty sure that's going to just be the entrance to the mine, which, again, in this case, mine, it's another relic site, basically. We're going to go this way, and we're going to make sure that we didn't miss anything. Also, yeah, I paid no note of it earlier. Leo has 3 levels on us to start a mission, and Tanyo has 1 on us. Which, that's nice. Alright. Alright, keep them coming. Nice. It'd be really good to get the level of our skill on that shotgun up as fast as possible if we're going to continue to use it, which I think we might end up putting that into the rotation here and there. Especially if we can do like a B level. No, we can only do C level shotguns, so that may not be something that survives too long. But still, as you can tell, since it's a very slow-firing weapon, it would be much better if we could do more damage per hit / cluster. So, as before, we will see how that all goes, I guess, for lack of a better term. Stand on here and let everybody get healed up. Get over here, dipshit. There we go. Now I gotta sit here and wait for the whole party to heal. It's gonna be more than a second, that's for sure. Alright. All healed, let's save. Ooh. Trials start just out in the middle of nowhere. And I guess we're not actually at the mine yet. It's a coal mine, apparently, huh? Not sure what happens at sunset, other than the fact that you probably don't want to be out here in the middle of the night. As with anywhere else, really. Great. Yeah, we got some materials. Nice. And we don't have a support caster. I should have bought healing items. I am a bit of a fool. This may be a bit of a train wreck. Guys? Would you like to permit me to attack? That would be a pretty cool thing. Alright, well, I'll leave the rest of the party to deal with everything else while I basically stunlock the chief. Nice. All according to plan. All accordion to plan, even. We definitely put him in a bit of a squeeze box, you know? Oh! Oh wow, I'm already maxed out on those. Well, let's put those on the pallet, I guess. In that case, pop that, heal everybody. Because I was not realizing just how many of those I was collecting, I suppose. Remember earlier when I was like, hey, I'm gonna sell those so that way I can afford stuff because they're all over the place. And then I just stopped doing that. Yeah. I'm real attentive, everybody. Ooh, this thing's light elemental, so we're not going to have a great way of dealing with this. We should just go ham. This. Yeah, spear. Again, we. Whoa, shit. Sorry. I'd say I could get us a little bit of extra PP, but not really. And of course, they wouldn't kill the thing before I was able to, while I was using the photon charge, so there was like no point. I mean, I guess there was a little point. It probably sped up killing the other things slightly, but we could have gone without. I wanted that specifically for being able to tear up the larger enemy. Monomate, yes, I will take those, because goodness knows in this game I use them like... I eat them like candy, apparently. Diamate, it might be time to start upgrading to those as our go-to healing item in the field. Easy. I wonder if we're hitting a point where, like, me mashing on the keyboard is becoming audible yet. And we need a second key in order to proceed. So down this way we go. Here we go. Here's the big boy. Yeah, I was gonna say that should give us minimal trouble with actually being able to dust Daga spam properly. Oop. There we go. Let's move on to the next area. Here comes the big boy again. Oh, there's two of them. Oh, this could get pretty nasty. But I think we've got enough DPS to be able to deal with this. Ouch. That one seemed a lot more stout than the ones that we fought before. Nice. Gained a level. There's our key. Break these chests. Again, if we can land the hit properly. Pull this out. Some points back. Nothing in the area, nothing that hasn't drawn in yet. And a fork in the road right off the bat. I think this is going to be the way we want to go to opt to, you know, get everything, basically. Yeah, we get it. You're from space. Like, is that a correct thing to say here? Yes, everything is from space in this game. Well, I suppose you can say everything is from space because of, well, just the planets existing in space, so... Alright, door's locked, so I was wrong about the layout of this area. It looks like Tonio gained a level. Good job, buddy. He's kind of a dick, but I like him, so... Plus, he's got a... Seems like he's got a decent variety of weapons going on, so... You know, he can definitely do some good work. Oh, hey, look it. Pardon me. I'm okay, I'm not dying. I just feel like it a little bit. Oh. Then where's the key? Ah, fuck it, who cares? It's not like we're gonna get 1,000 points on this one anyway, so... Oh. Got hit in the back of the head with a rock. Can we get some work done here? Ooh, I see a healing station. I see a teleporter also. I feel like I should probably stop for a second at the healing station and get a little bit of charge back, but on the other hand... Alright, you boys meet shield for me. Yes, you too, Leo. Also, if I could aim properly at this thing, that would be great. Ouch. Yeah, that's right. You get him, Tonio. You are doing work today. And handle it you did. Buddy. Like I said, I like him. He's probably like one of the best fighters we've had for a while. Meanwhile, I don't know what the fuck was going on with Leo's AI there. He was just frozen on the bridge. Nice work. And there's a key. Oh, can't carry more photon charges. So, do this. Is this going to be key 1? No, it's key 3. Well, I don't know where the hell that goes, so... Because key 1 is what we needed in the other area, right? Oh, okay, it just opens up that door. Alright, well, let's stand here. Again, we're going to tank our time real quick. That's a very strangely hard phrase to say. All right. Open the door. And I see we're not quite done yet. I thought we were gonna end the area here. Just because I figured, oh hey, yeah, that's there specifically as bait a little bit. Maybe we're gonna get into a boss fight in a second at the end of this. Or otherwise a pretty big scenario-ish encounter. Oh, there's just the one. I was expecting a biggie for the fact that it was just a single enemy. But nope. Just a singular Vanda. Easy, easy, easy to kill. Unfortunately, I'm very bad at hitting these crates, so that's not easy to kill those. ID number 5. Well, that's... Yeah, here's the big boy. And hey, another shotgun. I'm pretty sure those are exactly the same as... Yeah, it's the same one as what we bought in the shop earlier, so... That's alright. And we got the big EXP payload because we landed the killing blow on that thing this time. That's got to be a sure sign that we're getting a little stronger, right? Alright, so what is that ID number 5 good for? Because that shit was invisible. This has got to be worth it, right? 6 crates. Maybe one of these is like a fixed rare drop or something. Probably not. Still, we got a little bit of stuff. And I mean, we can probably put a lot of that to use. If we decide to engage with the synthesis system a little more, which I probably will. Here we are. Got to the coal mine. Surprisingly, I don't think we were too far over time. It's just that we didn't kill enough enemies. Alright, so with that, I'll be back in a minute. We are going to finish this out tonight, by the way. I just gotta be right back. Alright, I'm back. Let us see if we can't get into not too much more trouble for this chapter, but then again, I have a feeling that's not going to prove to be the case. That guy's got really awesome pants, by the way.
どうして海賊が誘拐なんかするんだ？
バカ、 それを調べるのが仕事だろうが。
Well, I was hoping for at least some sort of theory, you know? Maybe you had some sort of guess.
今だ。
Ransom?
見てな。
Ooh, he's good. I thought that was going to be an explosive.
待て。慌てるな。俺の後に続け。
Security traps. Yep. This is just a sequence from Metal Gear Solid. But the lasers are not all straight. At least nobody has to smoke in order to do it. That would probably not be super great. As they cut away right after the one that would literally just go straight through the kid's chest, huh? Alright. Healing time. Alright. And we are at over 9 hours in this game so far. Wow. Boy, the time does disappear. I am a little surprised by that. That makes me think that the clock is going a little bit fast, actually. Because we're at 2:34 on this session. For record time for the VOD that's going up on YouTube. So, surely, there isn't quite another 6.5 hours on YouTube. Or closer, really, to... closer to, like, 7 hours, I think. Either way, you know, it's not a big deal, but if you were a speedrunner and you were looking at IGT... you would probably want that clock to actually go at the correct speed. Well, congratulations on gaining a level, Hyuga. You are slightly more useful right now. Actually, saying that, he does have an ice element weapon that should probably be pretty handy in this area. Because there's a non-zero amount of fire types around here. Key is already grabbed. Smack the ID panel a little bit and go in. Right there's just an ID sitting out in the open. So, yeah, we just have to dodge the enemies in this one, I guess. I mean, granted, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna kill him in a second, but ooh, I see. That's only one of 2 keys, so we have to go back to where we were earlier. Yeah, because this way is blocked. The other way is looking like it's going to be blocked, too. Yeah, just a little nub. Alright, so we got to go back to where we were. It's a good thing we came this way first, though, because otherwise I would have just been like, what the hell? Oh, okay. And then have to do the longer backtrack. And really, who wants to do the longer backtrack, right? When given the choice, wouldn't you rather do the short one? Oh, by the way, we gained a level. Nice. So we are now on par with Leo. That feels pretty good, that I can say that. Alright. Oh, okay, so they're giving us the healing point. Can you fuckers get in here? Come on. Oh. Okay, so half the team is locked out. And we have to go on a search with our goggles. Oh no, everybody's back through. Then... what the hell? That's weird. Leo? Hey, you want to get within range of the healing thing, Leo, so that way you can have full health too? Or are you just not interested in being useful? Alright, turret has been found. So here's where we switch back to the blaster. And watch as we need to deal 3 hits to these things. We're gonna keep the blaster out for a bit because... oh, no, here comes some more rogues, so... time for us to just go for whatever deals damage. Red drop. I think that's just another white glove. Yeah, that's unfortunate. Ah, here come the robots. It's Rise of the Robots. Oh no. Boy, these things suck. I don't like them. Get out the way. Level for Leo. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. There's the ID card dropped. Unlock the door, and I mean, we probably should theoretically be a little more careful about traps, but I'm just gonna try doing a thing where I ping them and run for any of the floating mines. Like, this would definitely be a place that has got to be trapped as shit. And we are not even remotely surrounded. We can actually just leave if we wanted to. That said, I am going to take care of these dudes, because, again, more EXP. If they could just stay within range to let me use my techniques would be nice, but I can see they're not interested in letting me have fun. Yikes. Ow. Okay, we had to come this way. Well, that makes things a little bit, you know, I'm okay with that. That... Get your ass back. Whoa, 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 fuck, 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 fuck. Well, that's unfortunate because I just wasted that, and I wasted the PP, and I got trapped in the animation, so I got blown up, too. Great. Items? Diamate. That'll do. And I pick up the little bit of pocket change that got dropped, and keep going. Keep a-going. Let's deal with the rest of that in a moment. Turret erased, and once again, this is another place that's probably booby-trapped. Unfortunately, the problem in dealing with those is that you have to be smart, and I'm not always good at that. I played that like a fool, even though I knew what I was supposed to do. Just like Tails, I got trolled. By myself in this case, but I digress. Hey, I think it was Tonyo who gained a level? Nice. Again, good to see the competent members of our party get more competent. At least in terms of stats. I mean, clearly, in terms of AI, that is never gonna happen. But I digress. Aw, dang, Leo is dead. He'll be back up in a minute or so. It's fine-ish. Oop. Come on. Go check across this bridge real quick. Healing item. Alright, so with Leo being our last guy alive, I think I'm going to leave the robots alone for a moment. We're going to focus instead on these dudes, who should be easy pickings for the small amount of our party who are awake. Alright. Now, back to these chuckleheads. Somebody get in there, come on. Don't just wait for him to walk up to us. And see, this is why we have to give up ground every time that one of them dies if that happens. How do you like that, Obama, etc.? Ow. Imagine just walking into a bullet. I feel real stupid when that happens. Fortunately, those enemies cannot be popped in the air. And that goes that way. Over here is just going to be bonuses, I think, and probably some more enemies popping in. Yeah, I see a bunch of dudes over there. I don't like this. Fine, we'll use a star atomizer. They're there to be used anyway. Nice. Back it up, back it up, back it up. Oh, that is almost not so great. That up. Oh, got hit by a bit of a chain reaction there. There's the key. Don't 100% know where this goes yet. I just go here. Yeah. So I guess that it's the key one that's just a distraction. Well, to be honest, I want to cut ahead as far into this mission as possible. We've been in this for a while, and I need a recovery. I really need my PP back for all my weapons if there's one of those around. That'll do. 1200 Meseta, 40 mission points, and here we are at the mine's inner area. This is where we get into a boss fight, or cutscenes, or something of the sort. Let's see what we're getting. Well, we're getting a lot of loading, so it might be FMV. Nope. Hey look, it's the disco punks. I mean, I guess it's a way to psych them out, but might not be such a good idea. And they seriously did not give me a chance to recover before this fight whatsoever. Thanks, guys. Fuck you too, Sega. Now, if I was smart about this, I would probably take down the mage first, but ooh, they got yeah, a special group formation move. Unfortunately for them, it missed us entirely. Embarrassing. And down goes Dog Boy real fast. This is doing a lot of damage. Ah! Shit. Again, couldn't the game have spared me some sort of recovery before this? Or no? I sincerely hope this is the end of the chapter, because yikes, this is getting rough. Can you go down already? How much HP do you have, buddy? Not much more than that, that's for sure. Ow! Good thing I had those escape dolls, because yikes. Oh, you can just do that by yourself even without the formation. Wow. And arguably, it's looking a little more aggressive than even when he had the group up. Wow. Alright, fuck it, we're using a photon charge for this. And we're just gonna keep sniping this dude from afar. Sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do. That was slightly embarrassing. I got killed while I was combo locked.
誘拐？何のことだ？とぼけるのもいい加減にしろ。ネタは上がってんだよ。知りませんってば。俺たちは海賊ですよ。なんで人さらいまでやる必要があるんですか？シルクンボゲー。白馬でぶん殴ってやろうか。勘弁してくださいよ。まるでギャングの恐喝だな。
And nobody's gonna ask anything about Magashi, which seems to be the problem here. Well, yes, Leo, we could probably have guessed, because apparently being thugs is the literal racial quality of every Beastman except for you so far. Not for nothing. Not for nothing, inside of a game where a large part of the plot is based on racial tensions, maybe that's a bad call. Oh. Robot bees. Oh, do we gotta keep going? We gotta keep going, huh? Well, this thing is electric type, so it dies to our earth shots really easily. That's good. I knew that eventually grab shot would come in handy. Here we are, finally getting an enemy that it's good against. And here comes more bugs. Are we gonna have to fight more of them, or is it going to cutscene? Oh, he's hulking out. He's hulking out, buddy. Oh, he's turned into a big werewolf, dude. A nanoblast, huh? That's the first time this is showing up in the plot. Hmm.
こんな卑怯な手を使って殺せるとでも思ってたのかよ、あれ。違うよ。あのバグは俺たちのもんじゃねえよ。
Oh, because you guys aren't very smart.
本当か？本当。うっせえ。どういうことだ？
バグは生命体を無差別に攻撃する拠点制圧用の軍用マシナリーだ。
軍の兵器がどうしてこんなところに？
I feel you could have told us that earlier in the cutscene.
とんでもない裏がありそうだな。
誘拐と軍がどうつながるってんだよ。あんた
たち、持ち場離れて何やってんの？
リーナか？あん
ちゃん。
リーナ、なんでこんなところに？トニオと兄弟だったのか？
らしいな。
あんちゃんこそなんでここに？
探したんだぞリーナ。
近づかないで。あたいは今ローグスの海賊なの。昔のあたいとは違うんだよ。
リーナ！
トニオ！
俺が追いかける。こいつらを頼む。
They about to disappear, I'm pretty sure. Alright, fine. We'll bodyguard you while you do this. Not quite sisters. Gotcha. Or, not quite brother and sister, rather. I don't know, that seems really, you know, middle of the road sorta. Certain level of experience. What is that even? Yeah, buddy, you don't know a whole lot about being polite. Yeah, because you wouldn't have... Well, I guess it's more the conversation in this case, Tonio. If you hadn't stopped to threaten us when we were just trying to be, you know, normal, then maybe it is technically our fault, but...
ガーディアンズがどうしてこんなところへ。
さあな。面倒なことになる前に始末しておいた方がいいぞ。
そうだな。考えておく。
Well, I see Magashi. I don't know who the other guy is.
A-Photonをすべて買い取る。宝石はここに。
I like Magashi's high heels. Again, really does look like somebody's Gunpla project.
ランディル号の中にある。どこまで案内しよう。
That's some noises. Also, Landiel, yet another reference to a previous Phantasy Star game. That's a reference to the original last name of Alice from PS1 before localization happened to change it to Landale. Well, it woke you up, didn't it, buddy? Oh, it's Tylor, okay. I've never looked at his pants.
マガシたちは A-Photon リアクターを集めているんだ。タイラたちが盗んだものを裏取引で回収しようとしてるらしい。それで海賊が A-Photon の研究者を誘拐してたってわけか。
We could have figured this out 20 fucking years ago! I started to say 20 minutes, but it's been like an hour. That's my fault. I'm angrier because I said the wrong amount of time. But also, holy shit, how did you not piece this together? Oh, the rogues have been kidnapping a bunch of scientists that are all involved with A-Photons, the thing that Magashi wants to monopolize. Oh my god!
物を盗むだけじゃなく誘拐までして恥ずかしいと思わないのか。誘拐？
You know, I've been giving this game a lot of rope because up to this point, aside from a few things here and there, it hasn't been anywhere near as bad as I remember it. But holy fuck, we just stumbled into a big, big idiot plot. Like, wow.
どうする？俺は行きたくない。どうしたんだよ、急に弱気になって。罠かもしれないぜ。あたいを信用できないの？行こう。誘拐の有無は調べておきたいだろう。そうだけどさ。さあ、案内してくれ。
Have a little self-confidence, dude. Where's the bravado from earlier, Tonio? And I mean, you kick a lot of ass, buddy. Come on. You are way better than this. Also, Tonio's level didn't get reset, but since Lena was newly added to our party, here she is one level above us. Alright, Tonio, are you actually getting healed? Yes, okay, good. Oh, I was hoping to be able to get some information. Nope, I'm a fool. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. This is giving me a not very positive emotion, that's for sure. Stop strafing. I don't want to go into first-person mode, because controlling that is butt. Alright, map check. Okay, there's a little bit to go over to here. Gotta calm down a little bit. We got more bugs coming in. Oh, they're boogs this time. You use some sort of life drain technique that I don't know what it's called offhand, but it's a dark element technique, so we can't get it yet. These things are really hard to hit. Because, like, they have a hitbox that is, I don't think, actually determined by their body location. And even then, like, is this not supposed to have some semblance of an auto-lock feature? Which, once again, makes me wonder if there's some sort of targeting ability that I've just forgotten about. And don't know how to use because looking at the controls does not exactly... As I said before, the options menu was not translated with the translation patch, and when I applied options, I had to reapply the translation patch. Because I didn't notice that I'd switched it back to Japanese. Or something like that. I think that's what happened. I'd like to apologize. Oh, good. At least you teleported back into place, but still. Holy fuck. I'm getting so rustled right now. And so I see Lena's got the dagger and crossbow thing going on. This leads to a dead end? Alright. Fair enough. Was I wrong about Tonio not having a... I thought he had a crossbow. I must have been wrong about that. It happens. Alright, well... Let's get him. Yeah, there's Tylor and there's Magashi. That's some nice orbs.
A-Photon-related 確かに受け取った。
気に入ってもらえたかな。またよろしく頼むぜ。
いや、もう会うこともあるまい。
うん
Oh, that's menacing. Well, not entirely for the reasons that I would expect. It's because Magashi's about to kill him.
証拠は全て消させてもらう。ガーディアンズもろともな。
貴様
He's, you know, robot supremacist and everything.
私を倒せるとでも思ったか。
I mean, seriously, the guy has fucking wings and he's got a red and black color scheme. This is not going to be a very good fight for you, Tylor. Bring in everybody you can. Get Karen off of Nudez. Let's do this. Let's get an entire party going to absolutely toast this guy. As ever, I like that Ethan is just using the default saber in the cutscenes. Also, he's mostly fighting one-handed. Can you do something with your second hand? Unfortunately, A-Photon is going to run away because, of course. Or he's going to stick around for a second to taunt us one more time as he drops in his two big war mechs. Oh no, he's got 3 apparently. Wow. Look at you, buddy. And Tylor is coming in 5 levels above us. Wow. What a guy. Also, speaking of what a guy, this fucking enemy with the massive stun lock, and we are affected by Zalur. That is not great. Our defense is down. Thank goodness we can at least combo this dude. Oh, I was going to say we can combo this dude if we get left alone. Unfortunately, because I had the audacity, the fucking temerity to think it, I got punked. And I got machine gunned to death by the thing that's just barely visible. Alright, well, you know what? We're gonna slap you around for a second. Do I have any shots of the blaster? We have just barely enough in the tank to do a little bit of damage. And a little bit seems to be the operative word, because yikes, that is nothing. Our twin sabers is doing more damage. Good God almighty, can you stop fucking shooting me, dude? That was a thing I just wasted. Whoops. Alright. Been removed. Alright, now let's move on to the machine gun one, because the one that shoots rockets is seeming to be not that bad. Machine Gun Sam over there, however... What the fuck are you doing, buddy? Fuck, get... Stop! Stop moving around, you asshole! Oh, that's Photon Charge again. I wanted to use one of these. Oh boy, I really need to resupply after this. In fact, I'm probably going to do that before I end the stream for the night, because I want to make sure I actually do it. Alright. 1 left. This should be a little easier. Fucking yikes. That is really gross. I have got to be wildly underleveled for this part of the game, huh? Well, that counts as an A rank, apparently. 3,500 Meseta, 60 mission points. And let's get on with it. That's the end of the chapter, right?
死にたくなければあっち行け。
なめるな。俺は今すごく機嫌が悪いんだ。
Hey, he's just gonna shoot you in the head, buddy. No, he can't die yet, clearly. impressive grenade chuck to one-shot Buddy Boy's werewolf form. Also, are you implying that you didn't know what that was, dude? Come on. Again, why is there so much of a dearth of information availability in this world?
この前の借りを返しただけさ。やつめ、リアクターを奪っただけでなく、私を誘拐犯にするつもりだったようだな。
まったくとんでもないやつだぜ。マガシってやつは。
このまま放っておくと大変なことになるかもしれませんね。やつは取引を裏切った。この代償は払ってもらわねば。それじゃ失礼するよ。リーナ。
あんちゃん。
リーナ、行くぞ。
はい。あんちゃん、ごめんね。バイバイ。
あいつら。
お前ら覚えてろよ。この落とし前はきっちりつけてやるからな。
Admittedly, I'm surprised they lived, considering all of this happening.
絶対仕返ししてやっかんな。
お前ら、
Never mind. Yep, that sure is. A lot happened there, that's for sure. We're gonna have to deal with that some other time.
ここは
目を覚ましたか。
マガシは
逃げちまったよ。
リーナは
タイラーと一緒に行ってしまったよ。
なんで止めれんだ。このヤクタだぞ。
おい、やめろトニオ。
俺はあいつに何もしてやれなかった。くそ。
Can't be helped, buddy. I feel bad for him, though. And the scientist man seems to have disappeared.
一人前のガーディアンズか。
イーサンいるの？
え？
マヤさん、どうしたんです？
カレンが大変なの。イーサンお願い、手を貸して。
カレンがどうしたんですか？
行方不明になってしまったのよ。すぐにニューデイズに来て。詳しくはそこで説明するわ。
Oh, there's some shit going on, that's for sure. Alright, let's see that preview.
カレンが行方不明に。ニューデイズに向かったイーサンの前に現れるもう一人のカレンは一体何者なのか。その口から語られる誘拐犯の正体とは。急げイーサン、カレンの命が尽きる前に。次回ファンタジースターユニバース。
A lot more going on than Dozoris, that's for sure.
君の守るべきものは何だ？
I don't think I like where this is going. Well, like I said, we're gonna restock before we're done for the evening because otherwise I'll forget. Let's see that intro cutscene if there's anything else to add.
Moya-san, どうしたんです？
カレンが大変なの。 イーさんお願い、手を貸して。
カレンがどうしたんですか？
行方不明になってしまったのよ。
なんですって？
すぐにニューデイズに来て。
大変だ。誰だこんな時に。
Uh-oh.
おいさん、研修終
It's
了
the
だって
Beast
な。
crew
お
again.
祝いに来てやったぜ。
悪い、ちょっと用事があるんだ。ごめん。おい。
なんでね、せっかく来てやったのに。
おい、どうしたんだ？
Let's not call you when we're done with the next
二
mission.
度と祝ってやんねえからな。
I'm surprised that Leo isn't going to try to pry. I mean, I expect Tonio to just, you know, F off, but Leo seems like the kind of guy who'd be like, dude, what's up? And that would be a very justifiable question right now, because, seriously, maybe this is something that people should know about? A little bit? Anyway, I'm going to store that sword. I'm going to also... Oh, I can't store anything that's currently equipped. Alright, sure, buddy. I'll have to fix that in a moment. Palette over our monomates, and... yeah, so we stored one sword, one breaker, and we're gonna keep the other in our inventory in case we decide that we want... well, rather, we're gonna sell it. We can get a better dagger at this point for sure. Yep. Well, unfortunately, that celebration should probably wait a bit. There's something really terrible going on. And again, I feel like he should probably say, hey, there's something incredibly serious going on that we're going to have to deal with that first. But, you know, I'm not the boss here. I am not necessarily a good strategist either. Let's go to our item counter here. Yes, thank you. I thought both of you were shops, but not quite. Alright, sell the sword. Sell that. Sell shotguns. I'll hang on to the trimates for a bit, because I may need them eventually. Buy up our... max out our dimates, and max out our photon charges. So you remember to hit the right button at the right time. Like a not idiot. And we're gonna go take a look at the synth shop and see if there's a little better gear we can pick up, because we can probably put some of that stuff together. What do you got, Chief? Yeah, there's some not so good stuff going on right now, buddy. Alright, let's see what we can buy. Double Saber. That's a new type of weapon, I believe, for us. That'll be our staff, basically. Let's pick that up. We can show off the claw, I guess, if we want to. Scene, one-hand blade, be useful. That's probably a stronger piece of gear than what we have right now. Our claw, we haven't gotten any of the drops for that. That might be a little too stout for us to use as a shotgun, but we'll see. We'll grab the beam gun plate as well. And we're gonna go see what we need for this stuff. I think we have some Mott Ash too for some of the ones that care about types of wood. Which will mostly be the guns, I think. Par Ash might be something we need to get, so we'd have to just upgrade our wood, basically. Alright, return to barracks. Get the loading screen. Alright, synth boards. Insert, and... Alright, it's the double saber. We need 4 more parts. God, 79% chance of success? Ew. Only 70% chance of success with this. That's not exactly making me terribly happy right now. Let's go back on that. So, the beam gun... Apparently we just don't have enough of that metal in general, and we need more Par Ash overall. More Par Ash, more Mott Ash. So I'm gonna go grab, like, what's that, 9 Par Ash, I think? This may end up just being more expensive than just buying the damn weapons, but, whatever. It is what it is. I don't think the double sabers are actually available for a bit either, so, one of those we can get. How much does this stuff cost? Alright, yeah, we can't even buy the ash wood. We have to upgrade this shit ourselves. Soldonium is one that we need more of. Is there a metal conversion? There sure is. Alright, so that metal conversion thing should be able to help us get some of our Harnium upgraded to Soldonium, possibly. Which is going to be necessary for some of that higher tier stuff. Yeah, you can tell that synthesizing items is not necessarily the best way to do it always, but we're trying it out, folks. We may as well. Let's do our boards and synthesis. Yeah. Alright, that upgrades to just 1. Let me tell you, I'm not a big fan of that. Alright, store it. So how much more do we need? We need another 4 of those, so I can grab the 16 Harnium and it'll be slightly cheaper, I guess. Boy, I wish we could batch synthesize. This is gonna take a while. so we've got 5 of those. We're not quite in a place where we can use the do the double saber just yet. How much Mott Ash do we need for this still? We need another 2, and we would need a little bit more of that in the first place. Alright, keep... Stored. So we have 1 parwood left. So we need another 3 plus 4 times whatever we still need. Which... Alright, so we can go buy 11 of those. And I think another 4 mottwood is enough to get us all of that done. And then, of course, we need another 60. Oh, God. We need a lot of Soldonium, don't we? So we need, what? 36 Harnium, I think? This sincerely is gonna end up being, like, several times more expensive than just buying the damn things, really. But, I mean, it was an interesting exercise or something. Alright, 11 parwood. And 8 mottwood. And we should be good to go on that basis. Or we might come up, like, 1 use of the wood synth board short. And that would be very unfortunate. Alright. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go pick up another wood synth board. So now we have to do... this. Alright, store it. And... can you tell me what I'm missing, though? Because clearly that's... not what I... huh? What the... that's not... okay, that's better. I mean, I guess the falchion could be a pretty neat weapon, possibly. 79%. Do I feel good about this? Not really, but let's do it anyway. Hey, we got it. Nice. Put that in our inventory. Alright, synthesize. This. Alright, so we need another wood. We need another wood conversion board real quick. I'm really feeling like the beam gun thing is just a fucking waste, because it's not the Soldonium type metal, that's for sure. So, God, this stuff is really confusing. Like, I'm sure that you've noticed that already. But also, wow, I really need to point it out again because... Fuck, dude. And again, this is basically... You gotta remember, we're basically playing a single-player game on the foundations of an MMORPG. So, this is clearly a stupid idea because it's grindy as shit, and you know, it's kind of Disgaea levels. God, every time I think of Disgaea, I think of this one dude that I knew on a forum who once said, "Oh, well, grinding is, you know, the essence of JRPGs." No, it's not. There's many more important things, like, for example, story, which we've already gone over that this game is kind of a hot mess in that regard. Alright. So after I just wasted a fucking fortune, let's find out if we can make this gun. 87%. That's as good as we're going to be able to get. Let's do it. Alright. Come on. No whammies, big bucks. Hey! And we can't use it, because it's a B rank. I'm a dumbass. Let's unequip that. And instead we equip the double saber. That said, making this thing may have been a complete waste of time because I don't know if we can get the disc for the photon art ability yet. And of course, the weapon shop isn't going to be updated here until we start in on the story, so I guess we're doing a little bit of that. You're getting an extra long stream tonight because I apparently just am bad at remembering to do stuff. Let's double check that again, that this shop is not not updated. If it isn't, then you know, we'll come back to this later. Yeah. As I suspected, no updates. I think we have to... We're gonna have to go get our mission briefing and find out that shit's fucked up, and then... Yeah. Let's recharge all of our weapons, even if it's a little premature. Alright, so we're off to New Des, and we're gonna go get some plot. And possibly be ushered straight into the mission. That would kinda suck. Alright, just go straight to the Guardians branch. They're letting us fast travel to places inside of the cities a little better now, so there's that. I have a very bad feeling about this whole thing. Are you gonna keep fucking us around, Hyuga? we don't know what's going on. Just maybe tell us instead of being like this.
Karen?
またお会いしましたね。
え、ミコ様ですか？
驚かせてすみません。
私がカレンの予備の装備を持ってきたの。実はミコ様とカレンは双子の姉妹だったのよ。
なんだって？
私が
Wow, I never would have been able to guess.
お姉様と共に家を出たことは聞かされていました。あの礼拝の間でお姉様に触れた時、私には全てが見えたのです。
Oh, that'll be why she just completely
ミコ
collapsed.
様がカレンさんがさらわれたことをお知らせくださったんですよ。
それでカレンは誰に？
Uh-oh.
私の父であり、お姉様の父でもある祭司聖霊主道義ミクナです。
そんな。
Oh, there's something going on here for sure.
何か秘密があるみたいなんです。母がお姉様を連れて出て行ってしまったことと関連があるみたいなのですが。
こうしちゃいられない。カレンを探しに行こ
う。私も一緒に連れて行っていただけますか？
ミコ様、それは危険すぎます。
そうです。あなたはニューデイズの宝なんですから。
私は知りたいんです。
If people are gonna be able to tell,
母
well,
の間に何があったのか、姉をどうするつもりなのかを。
ミコ様、
お願いします。決して足手まといにはなりませんから。
I'm pretty sure that she's just using the same model and without even the hair and eye color being fixed
よし、じゃあ行こう。
to fit Mirai. I think. Again, big I think. I don't 100% know for sure, but Alright, well, Mirai is going to be automatically added to our party, I guess, so we don't have to worry about grabbing her. Alright, so let's get Hyuga, and we'll get Maya in here. And let's go take a look at our equipment shop here before we head off.
ちょっと大変なことになってるわね。
僕たちミコ様を誘拐したことになってますよ。
ご迷惑をおかけします。
とにかくシャトルに乗り込もう。
Again, do you think that they will actually notice
君
her?
たち止まりなさい。
何ですか？
警戒取締り中だ。どこへ行くつもりだ？
私たち大学の研究で士根諸島へ行くんですな。
士根諸島へ？なんでまたあんなところへ？
原生生物の進化を実際に見て確かめるんですね、イーさん。
君は
doing this again.
よそ見しないで聞いてくださいよ。ねえ、研究なら問題ありませんよね。
When's he gonna get thrown in the river?
もちろんだと思う。
Then we have to book it and
通りなさい。
ありがとうございます。さあ、行きましょう行きましょう。
I'm not ready to start the mission yet. I'm not gonna do that tonight. I want to just go make sure all my items are up to date. Yeah, see, that's what I was afraid of. At the very least, they're not going to completely forcibly hustle me along, but also, that did give me a bit of a scare. I am absolutely gonna have to do some work offline, by the way, because seriously, looking at the level, I'm not even matching the shit from last mission at this point. Alright. What do you got weaponry-wise? Oh, we got a new spear. Hell yeah. New sword. That's not a big issue for us. Alright. Twin Palace. Twin... Upgrade. Ooh, we got a dagger upgrade. Nice. That is fire element, which will do great to replace what we got rid of with the shotgun. But the new spear is clearly going to steal the show. How does this measure up to our recent battle fan? It's definitely better in all regards. So, rip in pieces fan. New pistol. Alright. Time to dump our junk. Any new technique discs over here? Yeah, since everything seems to be shared, I believe that we're just not supposed to have the double saber yet, which is unfortunate because that thing has a really cool attack that I would love to be able to show off. And you can see there's our dark element techniques. They are gravity based. Interesting. And there's the big church. Let's go on back to the dock. And go to Parum, GRM shop, show me something interesting, please. It looks like the answer to that one is going to be no. I mean, I guess if we were not if we were a ranger, we could buy a higher level rifle. That's not what I'm looking for, though. And yeah, no bone dance for us, which is the name of the move, if I recall correctly, is like bone dance or something like that. It does a lot of hits. Again, assuming that my memory is anywhere near decent, which it probably is not. Well, with that done, I guess we're going back to New Des and we're going to hit the save point. We're going to save on that planet, because, yeah, that's where we're going next, even if I am going to try to do some shit offline, so that way it's not a complete disaster. Our stuff's all full, right? Yeah. Alright. Save. And yeah, that took us a whole half hour of running around and doing a bunch of stuff that was kind of pointless. Wow.